Alright guys, today we're changing the oil on my Z900. It's a very simple process and we're going to go over everything you need to do it. Truly, the only tool you really need is a socket wrench with a 17mm socket. That's really the only actual tool you need, but you could have an oil filter wrench if you wanted to, but I don't need it. You need your motorcycle specific oil. Mine takes 10W40 motorcycle oil, and mine takes 3.8 quarts, so I bought 4 quarts. Make sure to check your owner's manual to know exactly what kind of oil you need for your bike. You need your motorcycle specific oil filter as well. If you go to a motorcycle shop, they should be able to look it up and figure it out for you. Next, you'll need a funnel. Any funnel will do, like if it's specific for oil and lubrication. Just make sure it fits inside of the fill area on your motorcycle. Next, I recommend some shop towels, just to clean off any oil that gets on your bike, on the ground, on you, have them. This is the obvious part. You'll need an oil drain pan. You already know why. Yes, I'm wearing gloves. Get over it. So, you want to take this cap off. Helps the oil drain a little faster. Do not lose that O-ring like I almost just did. Oh my God. Keep this somewhere safe. I'll just put it right back on top, not screwed in or anything like that. Anyways, you see this is the side where the kickstand is? That's how you access your oil drain plug. It is right here. Focus. Yeah, it's right there. Alright, I got my wrench on it. Just like that. That was easy. Cracked right off. Engine oil might still be a little hot though. Let's see. Come on. There it is. Just like that. Don't lose this. Alright. The oil's starting to come to a slow drip now. And I noticed right off the bat that there's quite a bit of metal debris in my oil. Totally normal. That's what happens after your bike's break-in period. You will see metal debris. It's not a big deal. Alright, that's good enough for me. I'm going to clean this off a little bit with a shop towel. That's why I brought the shop towels. And yeah, it's still a little bit of oil coming out, but I'm going to put the drain plug back in. Alright, I got that drain plug back in. But do you remember 30 seconds ago when I said you didn't need an oil filter wrench? Well, I would get one, because I can't get that off by hand. So, bringing out the Knipex. And I know it's pronounced Knipex. Shut up, I'm American. The Knipex did the trick. Look at that. There's going to be oil coming out of this. So, look at all that. Try not to spill any. Look at that. Let that finish dripping before you put your new oil filter on. Try to get as much of that old oil out as possible. Hey, the cool thing about these K&N filters, you can put your wrench on it and tighten it down, but I don't recommend that. Just get it hand tight. It's good practice. Don't over tighten these things. Alright, I took some of the oil, I lubed up the O-ring around the oil filter, and as you can see, as you might not be able to see, I got some oil inside of the oil filter just so I can have the least amount of air possible in this system. I might add a little bit more, but I can't do that with one hand. Alright, I filled it up about halfway. So I'm going to try to get this oil filter back on without spilling any of the new oil. Alright guys, she's back on there and I did not spill a drip of oil. Alright, next I'm going to tighten that oil drain plug. There are specs for it in your owner's manual, but most people don't own a torque wrench. I do, but I don't feel like going inside and getting it, so I'm just gonna tighten it to where I think it's right. I've been doing this a while, so I'm not gonna over tighten it or have it too loose. So There we go. We are nice and snug. I've been laying in broken glass this whole time. Pick your spots wisely, guys. Alright, I got my funnel in, got my oil. I'm going to go ahead and add about 3.5 quarts to start, and then I will check the sight glass to see if I'm good to go. Alright, I got about 3.5 quarts in there. There's still a half in this one. So I'm going to start it, tip it over and check this sight glass. You want it somewhere in between these lines. I prefer to be directly in the middle, but as long as you're within these lines, you should be okay. Just letting her run for a little bit, warm up, get the oil moving throughout the system, and then I'll go ahead and recheck that sight glass. On a completely unrelated note, look at all this pollen. It's been sitting here for 30 minutes and there's already this much pollen all over the bike. Alright, she's all warmed up, guys. I don't even see any oil, so I'm going to add that other half a quart. This is going to be hard to do because I don't have bike stands, but the bike is now straight up and down. Yeah, see, I added all 4 quarts, I'm directly in the middle. So, owner's manual says 3.8, but 4 quarts got me to where I needed to be, so. Alright guys, one last note before I end the video. What I personally am going to have to do is take this oil and try to put it into these old containers that I just used, just so I can dispose of the oil properly. Some people have these oil pans that are also reservoirs that hold on to the oil. I don't. I don't care for them that much. I don't want a whole bunch of oil sitting around my place. So I'm just going to dispose of these properly after I pour it all back into there. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like, subscribe. You get the gist. Everybody says it. Anyways, goodbye.